Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pac-12 Chalk Talk, your source for everything Pac-12 sports. I'm your host, Austin Controlas. And tonight we have a special edition in store for you. Robbie and Baker and I will be breaking down Pac-12 baseball for you. It's just the two of us tonight. It's going to be a conversational-style Pac-12 show. And Robbie, I'm glad to be here with you tonight.
It's nice. It's a nice intimate setting.
It really is. I feel like the lights are down.
The lighting is nice. Yeah. I wish we had some candles, maybe like the rose setup. It's very nice in here. It's very nice tonight.
So it's just the two of us. We're going to get right into it now. Pac-12 baseball, 3 teams on top of the Pac-12 right now, all with 10-5 conference records. You got Oregon, UCLA, and Arizona all up there tied for the #1 spot. What does each team bring to the table?
Well, for me, Oregon is, in my opinion, the best team in the Pac-12 right now. And what they bring, in my opinion, is a really high-powered offense. I mean, 6 players have double-digit RBIs. You look at 5 batters above 250 as a team. They have a .378 slugging percentage. If they can keep that offense going, they'll be a very good team at the end of the season. And that's what Oregon has going for them. I know U of A also has a very good offensive, or has done very well offensively this year, I guess is what I mean to say. They have 7 batters above 300 as well. What do you think about UCLA as a team I did mention? But
I think UCLA, they really bring the offense. Pitching, not so much there, but second best offense behind Arizona right now. .312 average. They're 4th in pitching with a 3.40 ERA, and I think I'm going to say it later in the show. Just a very balanced team. The thing I saw with Oregon, actually, their batting average second to last in the Pac-12 right now. So I kind of saw them more as a pitching team. They're second in ERA right now, behind ASU with a 2.82 ERA, and then Arizona, obviously, top of the Pac-12 with the offense, the Fab Five, leading the Pac-12, leading all D1 teams, actually, in batting average right now, with a .331 team batting average, and they're second.
Which is really high, too, for whether Major League or college. That's incredible.
For Major League, I don't think that's possible. For college, yes, and then second in runs, 237. So Arizona, I see them really at the top right now with the offense and with some of the pitching. So I think they're most well-rounded team of those 3 with UCLA. Then Oregon, I think, behind them. Oregon, they revived their program in 2009. I think they're getting there. I think the pieces are there. I don't think it's all there yet. They had a very soft out-of-conference schedule. So because of that, we're going to move over to Oregon. What do you think's helped them get to the top of Pac-12?
Well, Oregon, I think I thought they were a very good offensive team. Obviously, you said overall as a team they haven't been that great offensively, but their pitching has really stepped up this year. The pitching has been a lot better. And like you said, they just revitalized their program in 2009. The pieces are there. They're starting to bring it all together. But I think it's starting to finally click now. They're finally starting to realize what it takes to win in the Pac-12. And I think that's what's really coming together for them now is they're realizing what it takes to win.
Yeah, I think that, and then going back, to the soft out-of-conference thing, only 2 ranked teams out of conference before they really started Pac-12 play, with number 17, Vanderbilt, number 22, Oklahoma. That's where they were ranked at the time. Coming into the Pac-12, though, they have impressed me. Went to Stanford last weekend, got a couple wins there. Stanford now number 14, Oregon number 8 now in the Baseball America standings.
It's
the highest,
Stanford.
Yeah, the highest they've ever been ranked as a program since being revived. So I am impressed with them. I don't think they're there yet. I think it could be a little bit of a fluke, but they're definitely going to stay at the top, but I don't think they're going to win the Pac-12 by any means.
And it's something that we'll have to see as the season comes down to the end, if they can have some longevity, if their legs can keep up, and if they can keep competing with these really good Pac-12 teams. And the team in the Pac-12 that is perennially at the top, that's ASU, they've been up and down this year. It's kind of hard what to make of this Sun Devil team. They've had some good wins and some equally bad losses. I know I believe it was a weekend ago, they gave up 15 runs to New Mexico. So it's hard to make what to make of this team. But they swept Oregon State 2 weeks ago. They swept USC this past weekend. So you think ASU's starting to get back on the right track? Or what do you make of this ASU team, I guess?
It's been a very roller coaster season for ASU, very up and down. I think it all started when they realized, look, we can't go to the postseason. There's no chance of the College World Series. All they've had to play for is the Pac-12 championship, which I thought would give this team enough drive at Arizona State. Obviously, I don't know if it's all there. I think getting swept by Oregon in Eugene 3 weeks ago really hurt this team. They did bounce back, though, and I think the sweep against Oregon State, now the sweep of USC, I think it's good for them, but not all the pieces aren't there. They don't have a third starter. They don't have a Sunday starter. They got a Friday and Saturday starter, and those starters are great in Brady Rogers and Trevor Williams, Darren Gillies, the third starter on Sunday. 1-3 right now, just got his first college win this last weekend against USC. If he can start performing, maybe they have a chance to sneak up on these other teams in the top of the Pac-12, but I don't see it happening yet. And I think the bullpen's a little too young also for them to really progress.
And the USC sweep, in my opinion, was good for their confidence as they got a sweep. But USC obviously is not that great of a team as they're at the bottom of the Pac-12 baseball standings right now. But for me, the U of A game, which is actually in progress right now as we're filming the show, so we don't actually have a final score for that game, but this is kind of like their benchmark, in my opinion. As you have said, you think U of A is the best team. They're easily, I would agree that they're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the Pac-12. And whatever ASU can do in this game, I know coming into right before we were about to film, it was, I believe they were down 1 run is what the last I saw ASU was down. So if they can keep this close, even if they can pull out the win, that's big for ASU because then they start getting that confidence back. They know they can beat, some of the best teams. And they're 4th in the Pac-12 right now. They're not any team that's slacking by any means. Stanford is even below them, and Stanford was a team coming into the season that people thought could win a national championship. So ASU is not the only underachieving Pac-12 team this year. One bright spot for ASU has been Brady Rogers, though, and for my money, he's the best pitcher in the Pac-12. You look at his accolades on this year: a 1.12 ERA. He has a 6-1 record with 3 complete games. He also has 9 appearances, so 3 complete games in the 9 appearances. And then he's only allowed 1 home run all year in those 9 appearances. So Brady Rogers has really put together a great resume as the starting pitcher, easily the ace of this ASU squad. Do you see him as the best pitcher in the Pac-12 as well, or do you have somebody else?
I definitely think you have to say he's the best pitcher in the Pac-12 right now. A 1.12 ERA, that's 6th in the NCAA right now. This guy, 7-1, you mentioned the complete games, the shutouts, 8 walks to 61 strikeouts. That's unheard of. This guy is going to go. He's going to go to the draft. He's going to get drafted very high because of the season he is having. I don't think you can argue. The second best pitcher ERA is his counterpart, Trevor Williams, with a 1.41. That's 2nd in the Pac-12. A 1.12. You can't touch that.
It's a great 1-2 punch that ASU has with those 2 pitchers at the top of their rotation. Another pitcher that's caught my eye, though, is Alex Kudel. He has a 1.92 ERA, so a sub-2 ERA, and he has a 5-3 record with 1 complete game. So not as high in numbers as Brady Rogers, but he's a young pitcher who's coming into his own. But let's try to take a transition here from the pitching game to offense. And Austin, what players have really stood out to you so far this year on the offensive side of the diamond, I guess?
Well, 2 catchers for me, one at UCLA, one at Oregon State, both on the Johnny Bench Award watch list now. Tyler Heineman, 432 batting average with 111 at-bats. Kind of going back to the major league to college reference, you never see that in the majors, but it's hard to get here. A 432 batting average is almost unheard of anywhere. Devin Marrero for the Sun Devils, a 290 batting average this year, and he's going to the Collegiate USA team.
Yeah, he just got selected for that.
Correct. So a 432 batting average, that really stood out to me. Also, Eric Smith from Oregon State replaced Suzak as the catcher there, and he's batting 421. Those guys, the 1-2 on top of the batting averages in the Pac-12.
Yeah, I actually had both of them down as 2 impressive offensive players so far. Another stat for Heineman, he has 26 runs and 20 RBI, so he's not only gotten on base, but he's also helped produce a lot of runs for them. Another player that's really stood out for me is Bo Amaral of UCLA. Just last weekend alone, in 4 games, he was 9 for 18. He had 12 triples. He had 1 double, 6 RBIs. That's what I was trying to say, and 7 runs. He had a 778 slugging percentage in just 4 games last weekend. And he's now on an 18-game hitting streak. So this is kind of coming on late for him, but he's definitely coming and becoming one of the better, I guess you would say, offensive players in the Pac-12.
And that helps UCLA in almost, if he can turn it on with Heineman and with the pitching being 4th in the Pac-12 right now, they do have a great chance to be the team to go into the postseason, I think, behind Arizona. I think it really is a toss-up between UCLA and Arizona and which team can really go the deepest into the postseason and possibly represent the Pac-12 as one of the 8 teams in the College World Series.
And you mentioned a little bit the standings there. We'll just run through them right now. You got UCLA and then Oregon, U of A, ASU, Oregon State, Wazoo, Stanford, Washington, USC, Utah, and Cal. Cal, the bottom of the Pac-12 this year. It's a team that we've talked about on the show. It's a program that they thought was going to get cut. Then they came back, and a lot of people thought they were going to be good this year, and now they're the bottom feeders of the Pac-12.
It's Tony Rendo is the only bright spot on that team,
Exactly.
and I'm very surprised because I remember at the beginning of baseball season, I questioned the panel and saying, we said, who do you think has the best chance to go to the College World Series and win the Pac-12? No one mentioned Cal. I was taken aback from that. But I was proven wrong, and it is the program being cut that really hurt this team. They brought back a lot of the same players, but they couldn't make the team any better. Recruiting is not there. I mean, I know people from junior college who probably, I don't know if they deserve to get playing time on this Cal team, but they are now from California because they're lacking recruits and they're lacking talent. So hopefully you can see them turning it around. But yeah, UCLA, Arizona definitely, and Oregon, I guess if you want to throw them in there, I'd say the best chance to win it all. And then to top it off, I mean, the Pac-12 has been so good this season, as they are almost every season with baseball. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, overall in the Pac-12, I think the biggest thing that stood out to me is Stanford. They're sitting at 7th right now in the overall standings. And like I said earlier in the show tonight, Stanford was a team that people thought was going to have a chance to win the whole, everything, the national title, not just the Pac-12.
They were number 2 coming into the season.
Exactly, and they have so many players that were coming in All-Americans or award watch list players and high draft picks, presumably going to be high draft picks. And this team, for whatever reason, they can't seem to put it together. They got swept by U of A earlier on this year, which surprised a lot of people, but now it seems kind of par for the course for them. And I'm not really sure what Stanford is lacking. I mean, their pitching is okay, their hitting is decent, but I guess that's really just it. They're okay at everything. They're not great like everyone thought they were going to be, and that's really what's been the most surprising thing to me. And then the other surprising team is Oregon. I mean, this is a team that everyone thought was going to be down where Stanford and Cal are, and look, they're sitting number 2 right now with a chance to potentially win this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, what surprised me really right now is the Pac-12 has 5 teams ranked in Baseball America's top 25 right now. You get Oregon at 8, which obviously is the biggest surprise. They're leading the Pac-12 in these rankings. UCLA at 11, Arizona at 13. They were at 4 last week. Took a huge hit with Oregon taking 2 or 3 from them. And then Stanford at 14 and Arizona State to round it up at 20. But
and you see how Oregon jumped so much when they beat U of A, and you see how far U of A fell. So that shows you how important these conference matchups are too for rankings coming down to the end of the year.
And I was a little taken aback by it though, because the Pac-12 is such a strong baseball conference. You think the people in the rankings will kind of realize that, and it's almost like in football, if number 1 beats the number 2 team, they're
number
not really going to
drop to 7.
Right, exactly. They stay pretty close. So I'm surprised about how far these teams have fluctuated, but at the same time, I'm also very surprised that, hey, the Pac-12, they have 5 teams in the top 25. That's very impressive, and they're continuing to be a very, very strong baseball conference.
Well, and you didn't pick Cal. The panel, there's a reason we leave the picking to the panel. And I'm just kidding. Well, I'll let you have a pick here. Tell me and the listeners and the viewers who you think right now, if the season ended, in a week or so, which I guess is going to anyways, who is your Pac-12 champion for baseball?
My Pac-12 champion, I'm going to have to go with Arizona. They got the Fab Five there. They're all juniors now. They're all experienced. They know what they're doing, and I think they can lead this team into the postseason. And I think they could win the Pac-12. I think it's going to be a toss-up between them and UCLA, though. I know you're known for bold picks, so I can almost see this one coming where he's going to go.
I want to be. I want to ride Oregon. I want Oregon. I don't know why. There's just something about this team. Like you said, as a team, their batting average isn't that high, but they have enough offensive players that can get it done. And the pitching is starting to come there. And I think this is that year where they realize what it takes to win. And I like Oregon. I like them right now.
Well, Robbie, Oregon definitely a Cinderella pick, and definitely would be a Cinderella story if they were able to go to the College World Series and bring some wins back home for the Pac-12. So we've come to the end of another episode of Pac-12 Chalk Talk. To stay connected with the Pac-12, be sure to follow Chalk Talk on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe right here on YouTube. So for Robbie Baker, I'm Austin Controls. It was just the 2 of us tonight.
It was. I liked it, though. It was very intimate.
It was nice.
It was very nice. I enjoyed it.
So we hope you guys liked it back home, and we will see you next week.